Let me ask you something today. Have you ever ended a long, exhausting day and still felt like you didn't get anything important done? You were busy, no doubt about it. Meetings, emails, phone calls, running here and there. But when you sat down and asked yourself, what did I actually accomplish today? There was silence. No real progress. No meaningful results. Just motion. Just noise. Now listen carefully. Busy is not the same thing as productive. Activity is not the same thing as achievement. Movement doesn't always mean progress. And here's the danger. If you confuse being busy with being productive for too long, you can waste months, even years of your life, spinning in circles. Hard work is important, but hard work without direction is like rowing a boat in the wrong direction. Faster rowing doesn't get you any closer to the right shore. Today I want to challenge your thinking. I want to shift the way you measure your days, not by how much you move, but by how far you actually move toward your goals. Because once you understand the difference between motion and progress, between activity and accomplishment, you'll work less, you'll achieve more, and you'll finally start building the life you truly want. Stay with me. Let's learn how to stop being just busy and start being truly productive. The illusion of busyness. It's easy to fall into the trap. It's easy to mistake a packed schedule for a meaningful life. You wake up early, you rush out the door, you spend the day running from one task to another, and by nighttime, you're exhausted. But here's the question. Exhausted from what? Was it from progress toward your dreams, or just from staying busy? You see, activity is so deceiving, it feels like accomplishment. It looks like hard work. It even wins applause sometimes. But unless that activity is tied to clear goals, to real outcomes, it's just movement without meaning. It's like being on a rocking horse. Lots of motion, but you never leave the porch. I want you to remember something today. The goal is not to stay busy. The goal is to move forward. There's an old saying that goes, don't confuse motion with progress. It's one of the greatest mistakes people make. They fill up the day, but they don't fill up their life. They measure how much they hustle, but not how much they actually build. And at the end of the year, they wonder why they're still standing in the same place. Now, why does this happen? Because busyness feeds the ego. It makes us feel important. I'm so busy, we say, as if it's a badge of honor. But in truth, busyness without productivity is a silent thief. It steals your time. It steals your energy. And worst of all, it steals your future. Let me share something powerful with you. Don't get trapped in the circle of small tasks, answering endless emails, attending every meeting, chasing every minor issue. These are the activities that look urgent, but they rarely move you closer to your dreams. You must learn to distinguish between the urgent and the important. Because busy people react to life, but productive people design their life. If you're not careful, you can spend your whole life busy and broke. Busy, but unhappy. Busy, but stuck at the same level you were 5 years ago. And that is not what you were put here for. You were designed for growth. You were built for progress. You were meant to achieve, not just survive. So here's your first action step. Audit your activity. At the end of today, don't just ask, was I busy? Ask, did I make progress? What got built today? What moved forward today? What seeds were planted today that will grow into tomorrow's success? Because my friend, you don't get paid for how busy you are. You get paid for how valuable you become. You don't get rewards for how much you run around. You get rewards for what you produce, what you build, and what you leave behind. Let's not just stay busy this year. Let's stay productive. Let's make sure our movement has meaning. Let's trade the illusion of busyness for the satisfaction of real achievement. That's the beginning of a brand new life. Productivity has a purpose. Now let's get something straight. Productivity isn't just about getting more things done. It's not about filling every minute with work. It's about doing the right things for the right reasons. You see, true productivity has a purpose behind it. It's not random. It's not scattered. It's intentional, targeted, and tied to something that matters. Busy people ask, what else can I do today? Productive people ask, what must I do today to move my life forward? Big difference. Purpose is the engine. Without it, you're just spinning your wheels. Without it, you're just checking off boxes that don't lead anywhere. Let me put it to you this way. Activity without purpose is the slow death of potential. You can spend a lifetime chopping wood, but if you never build a house, what was it all for? That's why we have to stop glorifying hard work by itself. Hard work matters, but hard work pointed in the wrong direction. That's just heartbreaking. Imagine planting a field full of weeds and then working hard every day to water them. Imagine sweating and straining to climb a ladder, only to find out it was leaning against the wrong wall. Productivity must be tied to your dreams, to your goals, to your mission. Otherwise, you're just wasting energy that could have built something beautiful. Let me challenge you today. Before you start your day, before you answer the first email, before you jump into another meeting, ask yourself, what am I working toward? What am I trying to create? What kind of life am I building with these actions? If you can't answer that, stop. Get clear first. Because clarity is power. Clarity turns busy hands into building hands. Without a purpose, productivity becomes another form of procrastination. You feel good because you're moving, but you're really just delaying the hard questions about where you're going. And here's the truth. A life without purpose is a life that fills up, but never fulfills. It gets crowded with tasks, but it never builds treasure. It gets busy with noise, but it never creates meaning. That's why you need to anchor your actions to a bigger vision. Tie every task, every meeting, every effort to something that truly matters to you. Because once you connect your daily work to your life's mission, you won't need to be pushed. You'll be pulled. You'll be drawn forward by something stronger than motivation. You'll be driven by purpose. And that's where real power lives. Not in doing more, but in doing what matters. Remember, my friend, the goal isn't just to fill your schedule. The goal is to fill your life with meaning. That's productivity with a purpose. And that's a life worth building. The law of focused effort. There's a powerful law at work in every success story. And it's not the law of being busy. It's not the law of working harder than anyone else. It's the law of focused effort. Focused effort multiplies results. Unfocused effort scatters results. You see, energy without direction is wasted. Energy, like a river with no banks. It floods everywhere, but it goes nowhere. But when you focus that river, when you build the banks strong and sure, the same water can turn turbines, generate power, and change entire cities. And so it is with your life. It's not how much you do. It's how focused you are on the right things. You've heard it said, jack of all trades, master of none. It's the man who does a little of this, a little of that, and at the end of his life, has a handful of unfinished projects and a pocket full of regrets. Don't be that man. Don't be that woman. Choose, focus, decide what matters most, and pour your energy into it like your future depends on it, because it does. The law of focused effort says this: small, consistent efforts on a few important things outperform massive scattered efforts on 100 little things. You don't have to do everything. You just have to do the right things. You don't have to master the world. You just have to master your assignment. Now, why do people avoid focus? Because focus feels risky. When you focus, you're saying no to a lot of things. You're choosing one path and letting go of the others. And that's uncomfortable. But that's also what makes it powerful. Every yes must be defended by 1,000 no's. Every dream demands that you turn your back on distractions. When you decide to focus, truly focus, you tap into a power most people never experience. You find a new gear. You build momentum. You become a force. Because when your mind is clear, your hands are strong. When your goals are few, your progress is fast. When your heart is steady, your results are multiplied. Let me give you a simple test today. Write down the 3 most important things you need to accomplish this month. Not 30, not 13, just 3. Now ask yourself, am I giving my best energy to these? Or am I getting distracted by 100 little tasks that don't move the needle? Because, my friend, you can either be busy being busy, or you can be busy becoming something great. But you can't do both. So today, choose focus. Choose discipline. Choose a few great goals over a mountain of meaningless tasks. That's the law of focused effort. And if you live by it, it will change everything. You'll do less, but you'll become more. You'll say no more often, but your life will say yes to greater things. Because success is not about doing more things. It's about doing the right things, with everything you've got. Measure results, not time spent. One of the greatest mistakes you can make is thinking that putting in more hours automatically means you're getting closer to success. Let me tell you, it's not the hours you put in, it's what you put into the hours that counts. You see, time is neutral. Everybody gets 24 hours. The rich man, the poor man, the young, the old, it makes no difference. It's not the time that makes you wealthy, wise, or successful. It's the results you produce in the time you've been given. Time is a tool. Results are the reward. Now too many people fall in love with being busy. They wear it like a badge of honor. I worked 10 hours today, they say. But here's the better question. What did you achieve in those 10 hours? What progress did you make? What difference did you create? Because if you spend all day rearranging papers, answering meaningless emails, sitting in endless meetings, You didn't build a business. You didn't improve your life. You just filled up time, and time filled without results is time wasted. Let me tell you about the carpenter. He swings his hammer 500 times a day, but he's not building a house. He's pounding nails into thin air. Should we reward the carpenter for the sweat, or for the house he built? We pay for the house. We honor the result, not just the effort. And so it is in life. You don't get paid for trying hard. You get paid for getting it done. Now here's the great secret. When you start measuring results instead of hours, you immediately become more valuable. Because you stop thinking, how long can I work? And you start asking, how much can I accomplish? And that's when the magic begins. You become faster. You become smarter. You become sharper with your energy and your attention. You start setting goals that actually matter. So here's what I want you to do. At the end of each day, don't ask yourself, how tired am I? Ask yourself, what did I finish? What milestones did I reach? What steps did I take that moved me forward? Because tired doesn't equal productive. Sweat doesn't equal success. Movement doesn't equal meaning. Only results, real, tangible, measurable results, tell the truth. You can sit at your desk for 8 hours and stay exactly where you are. Or you can spend 2 hours laser focused on the right actions and change your life forever. It's not the clock that counts. It's the scoreboard. Success belongs to those who measure progress, not effort. It belongs to those who chase results, not rituals. It belongs to those who know. Time is the canvas, but results are the masterpiece. So don't just spend another hour. Don't just check another box. Create something. Build something. Move the needle. That's how you turn your time into treasure. That's how you win. Motion versus progress. Know the difference. You know, one of the greatest tragedies in life is spending years in motion, but making no real progress. Now it's easy to mistake the two. Motion feels busy. Motion feels important. Motion even looks impressive to the people around you. But motion is not progress. Motion is planning the workout. Progress is doing the workout. Motion is attending meetings about your dream. Progress is taking action on your dream. Motion is talking about changing your life. Progress is making decisions that change your life. You see, motion is getting ready. Progress is getting going. Motion loves preparation. Progress demands execution. And here's the truth. You can spend your whole life preparing to live and never truly live. Now, why do we love motion so much? Because it feels safe. It gives us the illusion of movement without the risk of failure. If I'm just planning, if I'm just researching, if I'm just networking, I don't have to face the possibility of falling short. But here's what you have to understand. Motion doesn't pay. Motion doesn't grow you. Motion doesn't move you. Only progress does. If you want to change your future, you have to stop mistaking activity for accomplishment. You have to stop asking, how much did I do today? And start asking, what progress did I make today? Every day you should be moving a little closer to your goal, not just circling it, not just thinking about it, moving toward it. Imagine a man trying to cross a river. He runs up and down the bank all day, measuring the width, studying the water, planning every step. But he never steps in. He's in motion. But he's still on the same side of the river at sunset. Now imagine another man. He takes a few careful steps. He wades into the water. He struggles a little. But by the end of the day, he's halfway across. That's progress. Progress might be messy. Progress might be uncomfortable. Progress might not always look perfect. But progress moves you forward. And motion leaves you standing still. So here's your challenge. Every day, trade a little motion for a little progress. Every day, ask yourself, what real steps did I take today that I can see, measure, and feel? Because 5 small steps of real progress are worth more than 1,000 steps of fake motion. Remember, you don't get to the top of the mountain by walking in circles around the base. You get there by taking steady, imperfect, courageous steps upward. So today, stop circling. Start climbing. That's the difference between motion and progress. And that's the difference between dreaming and achieving. The power of prioritization. If you really want to change your life, if you really want to multiply your results, you've got to learn one of the greatest skills of success: prioritization. You see, not everything you do carries the same weight. Not every task deserves your best effort. Not every invitation deserves a yes. Life gives you choices, and success belongs to the people who know which choices matter most. Here's the simple truth. You can do anything, but you can't do everything. If you try to chase every rabbit, you'll catch none. If you try to fight every battle, you'll lose the war. Winners don't just work harder, they work smarter. They know how to separate what's urgent from what's important. They know how to say no to good things so they can say yes to great things. Let me tell you, success is not built by how much you say yes to. Success is built by what you say no to. It's easy to fill your day with low-value tasks, answering every email, attending every meeting, reacting to every problem. That's how busy people stay busy, but never build. But the productive person, the successful person, asks a better question. What are the few things today that will move my life, my business, my dreams forward? And then they focus their best energy there. Because here's the law. A few right actions are worth more than 100 random ones. Think of a magnifying glass. You can wave it all over the place and never start a fire. But hold it steady, focus it, and suddenly the energy becomes powerful enough to ignite. That's the power of prioritization. It takes your scattered energy and turns it into fire. Now how do you start? Very simple. Each morning, identify your top 3. The 3 tasks that, if completed, would make the biggest difference in your life. Not the easiest, not the fastest, the most important. And then fight to complete those before you let the world pull you into its chaos. Because let me promise you, the world is always ready to hand you a to-do list. The world is always ready to fill your calendar with their emergencies. But your job is to protect your priorities like a farmer protects his best seed. Because it's your best seed that grows the best harvest. And remember, if you don't prioritize your life, someone else will. If you don't define your mission, you'll end up chasing theirs. So today, take back control. Choose your priorities. Guard them. Give them your best. Because when you learn to live by priorities, you don't just stay busy. You stay productive. You stay powerful. You stay on purpose. And that changes everything. Eliminate the noise. In today's world, my friend, noise is everywhere. It's in your pocket. It's on your desk. It's buzzing, blinking, shouting for your attention all day long. And if you're not careful, the noise will drown out your future. It'll keep you reacting instead of building. It'll keep you busy, but never better. Let me tell you, success is not just about doing more. It's about hearing less. The more you can eliminate the noise, the clearer your mind becomes, the sharper your decisions become, the faster your progress becomes. Now what is the noise? It's the meaningless distractions. It's the endless scrolling, the gossip, the chasing of every shiny thing that doesn't matter tomorrow. It's the temptation to react to every ping, every post, every headline. Noise eats your minutes. Noise steals your hours. Noise robs your destiny. One little interruption at a time. And the danger is, noise feels urgent. Noise feels important. But noise is almost always meaningless. You must learn the art of elimination. Because here's the truth. You can't focus on the vital if you're drowning in the trivial. The winners in life, they aren't just the ones who work hard. They're the ones who clear the path. They cut out the clutter. They shut the door on distractions. They create space for deep work, clear thinking, and real growth. Let me give you a simple formula. Eliminate first, then focus, then succeed. Start small if you must. Turn off the notifications. Delete the apps you don't use. Say no to the meetings that don't matter. Spend less time in the noise, and more time in the quiet where your dreams can breathe. You see, you can't hear the whisper of your destiny over the roar of the world. You must choose silence on purpose. Every day ask yourself, is this moving me closer to my goals, or just making more noise in my life? If it's not moving you closer, cut it. Be ruthless, because your future is too valuable to waste on distractions. Imagine a sculptor. They don't add more clay to create a masterpiece. They chisel away everything that doesn't belong. That's how greatness is built. Not by adding more, but by eliminating what's unnecessary. So today, clear the clutter. Silence the noise. Protect your attention like it's pure gold, because it is. In the quiet, you'll find your clarity. You'll find your focus. You'll find your future. Remember, a distracted life is a deluded life, but a focused life is a powerful life. Think before you act. One of the greatest disciplines you can ever master is the simple, powerful habit of thinking before you act. You see, it's easy to react. It's easy to jump in. It's easy to stay in motion without taking a moment to ask, is this the right move? But here's the truth. Action without thought is wasted energy. Action without thought is a shortcut to regret. Life isn't just about movement. It's about movement in the right direction. And the only way you find the right direction is by stopping long enough to think. Now, thinking doesn't mean doubting. Thinking doesn't mean hesitating forever. Thinking means pausing, sharpening the axe before you swing. You know, Abraham Lincoln said, "If I had 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'd spend the first 4 sharpening my axe." Why? Because action without preparation is exhausting. But action with preparation is powerful. In business, in health, in relationships, it's not the person who acts fastest that wins. It's the person who thinks clearly and acts decisively. And here's what you must understand. Most mistakes are not because people are slow. Most mistakes happen because people are in too much of a hurry. Rushing feels exciting. Rushing feels important. But rushing without thinking leads to wrong deals, wrong relationships, wrong paths. And one wrong decision can cost you years. That's why I say, before you leap, look. Before you invest, investigate. Before you commit, calculate. Before you say yes, think twice. Because the time you spend thinking isn't wasted. It's invested. It's sharpening the axe before the first swing. Now don't get stuck in overthinking. That's another trap. Some people think so long they never act at all. No, here's the rule. Think just long enough to make a wise decision, and then act boldly. Think, then move. Plan, then strike. Prepare, then produce. That's how the successful live. They are deliberate, not desperate. They are thoughtful, not frantic. They are steady, not scattered. And that's why their results look effortless. Because the real work happened before the first move. So here's your challenge today. Before you jump into the next project, the next partnership, the next opportunity, pause. Ask yourself, is this aligned with my goals? Does this move me closer to the life I want? Have I thought through the risks, the rewards, the realities? If the answer is yes, then act with all your heart. But if the answer is no, have the wisdom and the courage to walk away, because your future deserves more than rushed decisions. It deserves the wisdom of a mind that thinks before it acts. Remember, the slow, steady builder outlasts the reckless sprinter. The thoughtful leader outshines the impulsive reactor. So think, then act, and you will move not just faster, you will move farther. Build systems that save you time. If you want to change your life, if you want to multiply your results, you can't just work harder. You have to work smarter. And the way you work smarter is by building systems. You see, successful people don't start from scratch every morning. They don't wake up asking, what should I do today? They already know. They have routines, they have structures, they have systems in place, and the systems do the heavy lifting. Let me tell you something important. Consistency beats intensity, when intensity is random. You don't win by working yourself into exhaustion every now and then. You win by setting up systems that move you forward every single day. Whether you feel like it or not, a system is simple. It's a repeatable way of doing something that saves time, saves energy, and guarantees results. Think about a bakery. If the baker had to invent a new recipe every morning, he'd go out of business in a month. Instead, he builds a system, a set recipe, a morning routine, an order for deliveries. And because of that system, the bakery produces fresh bread every single day. No guesswork, no chaos, just results. Now what about you? If every day you wake up, reinvent your priorities, reinvent your goals, reinvent your strategy, you're wasting precious time and energy. Instead, you need systems. A system for your morning, a system for your workday, a system for your health, a system for your relationships, a system for your finances. Systems turn dreams into habits, and habits turn into results. Because here's the truth. Motivation gets you started, but systems keep you going. When you build systems, you free up your mind. You stop fighting the same battles every day. You stop spending mental energy on small decisions. You save your strength for the big things. The things that build empires. Now listen. Building a system takes effort at first. It takes some thinking. It takes some planning. It takes discipline. But once it's built, it runs. And when you stack enough good systems in your life, success becomes automatic. Progress becomes inevitable. Momentum becomes unstoppable. So here's your challenge. Identify one area of your life today that needs a system. Maybe it's your morning routine. Maybe it's how you handle your emails. Maybe it's how you plan your week. Pick one. Create a simple, repeatable system. Stick to it every day, because small systems done daily create extraordinary results over time. Remember, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. So build systems that serve your future. Build systems that save you time. Build systems that build you. That's how you stop living in reaction and start living by design. Work smarter, not just harder. Now listen, hard work is important. No question about it. There's honor in sweat, discipline in labor, pride in giving your best effort every day. But let me tell you something even more important. Hard work alone is not enough. You can work yourself to the bone. You can hustle from dawn to dusk, but if you're climbing the wrong ladder, you'll just get to the wrong place faster. Success doesn't just go to the ones who work hard. Success goes to the ones who work smart. You see, hard work is the engine, but smart work is the steering wheel. Without it, you end up busy, but broke, exhausted, but unfulfilled, running hard, but getting nowhere. That's why the real winners in life don't just ask, how much effort can I give? They ask, how much return can I create from my effort? Smart work means being strategic. It means thinking before you move. It means asking, where is the leverage? Where is the real opportunity? Where are my actions producing the greatest results? Because effort without leverage is like digging a well with a teaspoon. It'll take you a lifetime, and you might not even reach the water. But effort combined with leverage, that's digging with a machine. That's reaching the goal faster, better, and with less unnecessary struggle. Now, working smarter doesn't mean being lazy. It doesn't mean cutting corners. It means multiplying your effort by applying your mind before you apply your hands. It's finding better tools. It's learning better skills. It's asking better questions. It's not just how can I work harder? It's how can I make this easier, faster, better, more effective? It's about maximizing every drop of your effort so you get more life out of the same day. Let me give you a simple truth. A single hour of smart work can accomplish more than 10 hours of blind effort. A focused plan can save you a month of guesswork. A better skill can double your results in half the time. A single connection, the right one, can open more doors than a year of knocking on the wrong ones. That's the power of working smarter. So here's your challenge. Step back from your hustle for a moment. Look at your activities. Ask, where am I wasting effort? Ask, where could better thinking save me time? Ask, where can I create more by doing less, but doing it better? Remember, you weren't put on this earth just to hustle harder. You were put here to create, to build, to grow wisely. You were designed not just for labor but for leadership. And leadership starts when you stop measuring your day by how tired you are and start measuring it by how effective you are. So today, work hard, but even more, work smart. Because it's not just the strong who win, it's the why. Progress over activity, your new standard. So here we are, at the crossroads between two ways of living. You can keep living by activity, chasing busyness, filling your schedule, wearing exhaustion like a medal, running faster, but getting nowhere. Or you can rise to a new standard, the standard of progress. You see, activity is cheap. Anybody can stay busy. Anybody can fill the hours. But progress, real, measurable, forward-moving progress, that's rare. That's valuable. That's what separates the average from the exceptional. From today forward, make a new commitment to yourself. You will no longer measure your life by how much you do. You will measure your life by how far you move. No more confusing motion with achievement. No more mistaking noise for impact. No more bragging about busyness while building nothing that lasts. Instead, you will think before you act. You will work with focus, with clarity, with purpose. You will eliminate the noise. You will build systems. You will prioritize the vital over the trivial. You will work smarter, not just harder. Because you know now, it's not the man who works the hardest who wins. It's the man who works the wisest. It's not the woman who stays the busiest who succeeds. It's the woman who moves with purpose, with discipline, with vision. From today forward, when the day ends, you won't ask yourself, was I busy? You'll ask, did I make progress? You'll judge your days by growth, by movement, by achievement. Because activity fills the calendar, but progress builds the life. Activity keeps you spinning in place, but progress pulls you forward toward the life you were meant to live. And let me promise you this, when you make progress your new standard, you will be amazed at how far you can go, how much you can build, how high you can climb. So choose today. No more chasing busyness. No more surviving on motion. Choose progress. Live for progress. Demand progress. And let progress be the story of your life.